We start the presentation by creating a new project using Electrical Cad SPAC Automazione. We start by pressing New Project to create the folder that will contain all the information and files associated with the new project. We indicate the name, description, client, and configuration. We suggest using SD Project as a client to have a standard configuration that will help us in our first project. The program will propose a default frame. We can press OK to create the DWG file. We call it Multisheet 1. We can add a description, a designer, and a prefix. Pressing OK, we see that SPAC has created the DWG file with one page or one layer. The multi-sheet management window can also be opened from Sheets menu on the command Multi-sheet Management. We have to define now the number of pages that the DWG file will have for our schematics. Each page represents an Autocad layer. We can indicate 5, press Insert, and see that now we have a total of 6 pages or 6 design layers. If we double-click on the title cell, we can indicate the title of each layer or the title of each page. For example, on page 1, we can indicate the title First Page. Legends on page 2. Power supply on page 3. First symbols on page 4. Auxiliaries on page 5. And terminal blocks on page 6. Pressing OK, we save the changes. We see SPAC Work Environment, and on Sheet 0 or Layer 0, there is only the project framework or template. When we see, for example, Sheet 1, we actually see Sheet 0 and Sheet 1 overlapped. Let's do a simple activity in Layer 0. We can copy an image from Word and insert it on Layer 0. We resize the image with Autocad commands and place it where we want. This image can be the company logo or the client's logo. If we change page, we see that the image inserted is visible on all pages because it is located in Layer 0, that is always visible. From menu Sheet, Sheet Utilities, Frames Accessories, we can select Opt Master 5 Image and press OK. A block summarizing the project data is inserted. With a double click, we can see all the attributes of this intelligent block created with Autocad. If we indicate a value, SD Project as a client, for example, it will appear automatically in the associated position in the block. Let's go to sheet number 2. Sheets navigation can be done in this menu at the top right or by pressing the plus button on the keyboard and then enter. We see that the titles have been indicated correctly on each page. From Sheets menu, we can go to Sheets Legend. SPAC shows the pages or sheets that will be inserted in the legend. We select the design option and sheet number 2 that is free because we see that it is colored green as status. We press OK and see that the table with the sheet legend has been inserted automatically. The yellow circle on the top left indicates that the table can be updated automatically after making changes to the project. This makes much easier to update the outputs and reports in the project. Let us now modify, for example, the title of sheet number 2. We save with OK and see that the table has not been updated yet. If we click with the right button of the mouse and press Update, we see that the title is now correct. It is a simple example, but it demonstrates the potential of using an electrical CAD. Let's go to sheet number 3. We can design the power feeds. From SPAC menu, we can execute the command feed. Select 3 lines and press OK. Messages will appear in the command line that will help us during the execution of each command. We have to indicate the starting point, the arrival point, press Enter or the right button of the mouse and see the different options proposed. We select the arrows for the first power feeds design, starting references in our case. Then we can indicate the name of each line. L1 and press Enter. L2 and press Enter. L3 and press Enter. It is also possible to indicate the data of the wires contained inside the power feed cable. We press OK and we see that the program has inserted the 3 power feeds, L1, L2 and L3. Let's go to page 4. From SPAC menu, we can select Power Feeds, 3 threads, Design from left to right, and in this case select Arrival and Departure references. This is because we have previously designed a page with an original feed. The program proposes the names indicated before, and it is enough to confirm by pressing Enter or the OK button. We see that SPAC has created automatically the cross-references giving the source and destination coordinates of each power feed. With the right button of the mouse, we can select the Go To option to go to the starting point of the power feed design. This facilitates the navigation of the electrical scheme. Let's now design a very simple circuit to see how easy it is to work using SPAC. From the IEC menu, we select motors or generators and AC motors. We see a list of available options. We can select one of the motors, M1 for example, and use drag and drop to place the symbol on the schematic. SPAC proposes automatically a connection with the available lines. By clicking, we see the motor edition window. M1 has been indicated as the default name. There is not any associated material at the moment, and we do not have information about the thermal dissipation functions, etc. We can indicate the values that we know at the moment of the drawing. From IEC menu, we can select the option Components and Power Supply to select the symbol of interest. By clicking, we see the Edition window where we can indicate the device function if we know it. We can press OK to insert the component. Let's continue with our design. From Switches menu, we select Thermal Switches, then the option Q23, and drag and drop to place it in the desired position. We can deactivate the direct connection option. Pressing delete, the symbol will be positioned where we want without making the automatic connection. It is important that the snap is always active to be able to move the cursor in steps and not freely. This guarantees the connection of each component pin with a design signal or power feed line. The program proposes QF1 as the name of the component, and we confirm by pressing OK. SPAC inserts the component cutting the lines automatically, changing the color from red of the power feeds to gray of signal wires. Let's go to Util menu to associate a component code to an electrical symbol inserted. We select the manufacturer, Eaton for example, the material of interest, or we search for it using the search functionality. And then we use drag and drop to associate the code of interest in the family that we have chosen. We can also work with a direct design that allows us to drag the symbol already with the associated material code. In this case, we see that we have Eaton 199149 as material. Pressing OK, SPAC inserts the component again. We have seen how to insert a neutral or generic symbol and a symbol with a material already associated. If we select a material from the materials database and drag it to a symbol, we directly associate the material code to the symbol in the scheme. With a double click on the symbol, we see that the material code was associated to it. Going to Sheets menu and selecting Copy between sheets in fixed position, we can move this scheme to the sheet that we have called First Symbols. We need to select the elements of interest. Press Enter, select the sheet where we want to move the elements, press OK, and SPAC will insert on Sheet 4 the elements copied from Sheet 3 that we have eliminated. Let's continue. From SPAC menu, we go to the Power Supply option and select two wires. We start from the left, Start Point, End Point, right button of the mouse, Starting References. We give a different name, 0 volts and 24 volts, for example. SPAC associates to the design lines power feed characteristics since they have the red color. Let's go now to page 5, SPAC menu, and select Drawing Utilities and then Auxiliaries. As indicated by the command line, we define the starting point, arrival point, and second starting point. We have to indicate the names of the design lines. It is possible to select one of the names already inserted by pressing the button with the three dots and we press OK. We see that SPAC has designed the auxiliary power supply lines with the cross-references already indicated. This is an example of the auxiliary schematics that can be created with SPAC, using the same procedure illustrated above. The scheme that we have shown can be found on the sample project. Let's go to Sheet 4. Let's insert now some contacts. From IEC menu, Other Contacts, Power Contacts, we select this option and drag it to the point of interest. We click on the desired position and the editing window will appear. We do not have coils or relays to associate with these contacts. We indicate KM as a generic name and confirm. SPAC has numbered automatically the threads. If we want to change the numbers indicated, we have to go to SPAC menu, Number Wires, select the initial number, and define in the Parameters button the configuration of the wires numbering. We can add the sheet number as a prefix, for example. Pressing OK, SPAC shows a preview of the thread numbering. Pressing OK, we confirm. The command line prompts me to draw a line that we call fence, and the thread number will be inserted at the point where the line cuts the threads. In our case, we have 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, 4.5, and 4.6. Let's execute again SPAC command number wires and enable the prefix or suffix. Let's select UVW as it is used for numbering wires connected to motors. Press OK and draw the line or fence. Pressing Enter, SPAC will number the threads 4U7, 4V7, and 4W7. We can insert now some terminals. SPAC menu, Panel Management, select New, define a new electrical panel that we will call Machine Mounted Panel. And this will be the panel located in our machine. We press OK and we see that we have two electrical panels. SPAC menu, Insert Terminals. The interface window is shown and we see the available panels and also the option to create new panels from this interface. We see that there is a predefined X1 terminal block in the general panel. Let's select the option New Terminal Block with the right button of the mouse and indicate the name. To finish, we can press OK. We see the materials options we have. It is possible to select the type of terminal. We can also select the graphical representation of the terminal and search for the terminal code that is of our interest. For example, a terminal with a section of 2.5 millimeters. We select an item from the list, in this case Weidmuller, and press OK again. As prompted by the command line, we design the line or fence to insert the terminals. The terminals will take the name of the thread and the name of the terminal block. If we double-click on the motor, we can change the panel where it is located. Select Machine Mounted Panel and press OK. Let's insert the other terminal block. SPAC menu, Insert Terminals, select Weidmuller Manufacturer, and select the item of interest. Pressing OK New, we can draw the fence or line for the insertion of the terminals. We have just inserted the terminals. Let's design now the terminal blocks. From SPAC menu, Terminal Blocks and Connectors, the available panels and the available terminals in each case are displayed, so it is possible to select the terminal block from the general panel and press OK Output. We confirm page 6 to insert the terminal block, and then SPAC will propose a title for the sheet. We can accept or discard it. Press OK. Click on the scheme and SPAC will design the terminal block. We can change the type of output that we want. For example, a table. Press OK Output. Select the fields that we want to be inserted in the table. OK. And select Sheet 6 because there's still space to insert the table besides the graphical representation of the terminal block. We insert the table in the position of interest, and SPAC will show the table representing X1 terminal block in the main panel. Let's design the other terminal block. SPAC menu, Terminal Blocks and Connectors, select the machine-mounted panel, select Drawing as output type, confirm the Sheet 6, indicate the insertion point of the terminal block, and finally insert the table pressing OK Output. The motor terminal block will be displayed in the machine mounting panel. The elements that compose the terminal block will be included in the final bill of materials. Let's go now to Sheets menu to select Multi-Sheet Management in order to add a new sheet that will be called Bill of Materials. We press OK. Sheet 7 is now available. From Util menu, we can select Bill of Materials and select the panels of interest to indicate later Bill of Materials by name. The preview is shown. Select Table as output. It is possible to change the configuration of the table fields and press OK. Sheet 7 is completely empty, so we just press OK to insert the bill of materials. We can save the bill of materials in database format. All the items used in the project have been included in the bill of materials. The yellow circle in the upper left of the table indicates that the table can be updated automatically after making any change to the scheme. In this introductory video, we have shown some basic SPAC commands. We can also design the cables, carry out schematic translations, design PLCs, etc. Given that SPAC is a professional CAD, it contains a series of commands that allows the complete design of an industrial automation project. To finish this initial video, we will print the project in a PDF file. From Sheets menu, select Print and PDF Sheets. Select the multi-sheet or DWG and the pages of interest. Select then Dynamic PDF and press OK. SPAC creates automatically a dynamic PDF file of all the schemes and saves it on the project folder. This file can be opened with Acrobat and is very useful for clients or partners that do not have SPAC Automazione software. If we click on a cross-reference, we can browse the PDF file, which makes easier to read the electrical schematics and the work of technical personnel in the field. We end the presentation here, being grateful for your attention. You can request more information from our website, writing us an email, or calling us by phone. It will be a pleasure to give you all the support required. Thank you very much and good work.